Hey y'all, how's it going? So I'm trading the S&P 500 futures on a 2000 tick chart. So I put my overnight highs here, my overnight lows here. We're in this range. We got down, up, down, up, down. So it's clearly in a range. The EMA is straight flat, so it's that's what it does when it's in a range. It looks like a roller coaster. We have these two legs up. They're clearly measured. They're not, or I didn't mean to move that. They're not exactly measured to the tick, but as soon as it reaches it here, it does turn down. And then eventually we go into this bigger downtrend. All of this stuff, this crazy stuff, happened really fast. This was just like a few minutes, like 10 minutes ago. It was 1. That's right here, and it's only 1:13 right now. So all this happened in 13 minutes, and just add a couple minutes for this other stuff. But very fast news stuff happening. So I got no filled on that, which is kind of annoying. Well, it's very annoying, but it happens sometimes. You just gotta not worry about it. It happens. It's part of trading. These ones I entered with a stop order, so I didn't get no filled. But this one I had to use a limit order, so I got no filled. But anyway, so we have the highs here, the lows here. We're in this range. We know that we have this leg up here. We correct. We go below the EMA. We have this downtrend. We have a break, new low. The downtrend played out, which ends up, as soon as it makes the new low for that downtrend, as soon as the downtrend plays out, it makes the second leg up for this uptrend here. So anyway, let's zoom in a little bit more. So we push out of this range. We're in this range right here. We push out, break out, pull back. It closes back inside the range. It's not a very good looking entry. It's just a higher low that's in a not very good area. But we do push higher, though. We do complete the measured move. I wanted something here because we had a measured move in play. Maybe a higher low could have been good, but we just didn't get anything. So we can't observe any good setups here because I don't think there is any good setups here. And so we push higher. Once we get to the measured move, we start kind of finding resistance. We start pushing lower, and then eventually we plummet down. I don't think that there's a good short here because it's not off of any kind of resistance. It's just, it doesn't have a good bar. I guarantee it has STT. If I draw it like that, it does not. I mean, it has a little bit of room if I draw it from here. But my point is it's a really bad context area. And there we go. It does have STT. So I didn't even draw the STT for this because I knew the context was so bad I wasn't considering anything anyway. But it even closed inside of that, so that's another bad thing about it. And then by the time you get this next entry, it ticks higher, triggers, it's all the way down here by the time it closes, so you can't enter on that. But at this point, it's plummeting right after two legs up. So we have two major legs up, and then we immediately plummet, fade back into the range. We have this lower high, horrible signal bar, we push lower. So now we have these two legs down here. First leg down, break, second leg down. And on a big picture, that's one leg down. That's one downtrend. I want to include the whole thing because it's one move here. And so then here, so there was someone asking about, it was NWT. He got trapped in here. He got short. He entered short right here. And he was asking about that. So basically, the reason, let me explain the context here. So we have this leg down here. We have a break. We can expect a second leg down, right? And so we're looking for entries to make a second leg down. Now, that doesn't mean you can't go long if it keeps going higher. So let me explain this long, and it all ties into this trap and everything here. So I took this long here. I liked this long because it was downtrend, break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower, failure, and then I was entering on the higher low with the failure closing above the EMA. Good context. Now, NWT took this short right here, saying that he was expecting a new low for this downtrend, and so it's like downtrend break, expecting a new low, and then first entry long, second entry long, failure. But that is just a to the tick failed second entry, and it's really just fighting against the context because on a big picture, this is just one leg right here. So it's like downtrend, break, first attempt lower. And so going short right here, if you go short on this bar right here, that is basically betting on this downtrend making a new low after its break in one leg down. Because even though there's two legs down here, that is still one leg on a bigger picture. Notice how downtrend, break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower. So it turns into it's just by the level, the price, whatever level it's on. It's one level at a time. And so when I was taking this, it was on the first level of downtrend break, a couple attempts at a new low, and then it's failing. And so then when it fails, and then I get my entry right here, my long entry, now it has a big picture setup. Now you have a big picture failed second entry. Now it's first entry long, second entry long, failure. Notice these red arrows, those are basically the failed second entry moves. So first entry long, break, second entry long, failure. And so that's one leg down. This is one leg down. So just entering short right here, it's basically, you just got to look at it on the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is this is a downtrend break with an attempt lower, and you're entering at the low of that one attempt lower. And so that's why you're able to go long, because there's still room for there to be a big move up before you're in a good context area to make the second attempt lower. Because at this point, you really just have one correction. It's just a first entry, and then a little lower high instead of two big legs. And so I just thought I'd go over that area for a bit. And so that's the thing. I basically took the real entry after this one, and I saw a few other guys in the site took this short right here as well. So basically, this is the failed second entry, first entry long, second entry long, failure, trying to make a new low for this downtrend, but then it fails because the context isn't good. But then you get a big picture failed second entry, first entry long, second entry long, failure. This is the lower high. It's still entering with the failed second entry. I didn't really like entering into the EMA because it didn't have a very good bar. But once we close lower here, it's still basically entering on the failed second entry. It is a lower high entry. But yeah, I like that down to the lows. I mean, that's a strong area. Big picture failed second entry. Those lead to big moves. You're playing the range. You can expect it to reach the lows. I forgot who it was, but someone went for the exact same RR as me on this, got 25 ticks as well. I forgot who it was, though. But anyway, so that's that whole thing. And then so I marked that trap there. I marked this trap here because I know that some people would see it as first entry short, second entry short, failure, trying to take a failed second entry, but that's right into the highs. You have a big picture failed second entry long in play to go short, so that's way too risky to go long right there. But then we do complete this measured move down, so now this measured move is complete. We get congestive as soon as we meet it. We're currently broken out of the overnight low at this point. We get a little bit congestive. We have this clear breakout of that congestion. We fade back in. I don't see a good entry. The bar is already closing way too far back inside, and also it didn't reach the EMA. We make this kind of micro triple bottom here, and then we rush above the EMA, rush back below, higher low below the EMA. That does not look good. I have this marked as a trap here for anyone who would take it as a short, but realistically, it's basically accepting prices above the EMA. It rushed above, held above. It did close back below, but then it closed back above. So that's just kind of forming a range with the EMA in the center of the bars. It's choppy. It's just not a good context area. And then it's also just to the tick, failed second entry. It's all part of this one leg up here. It's just risky to take that short. So yeah, like if it rushed below and held, that'd be better. But it's just one spike higher here, and then it's getting very choppy very fast. Not to mention, it's like that going short on that would basically be betting on the, let me draw this. Going short here would be betting on fading this tiny range over this major range. So that's basically what doing that would be. We push higher. We could get a second leg, which is what I was hoping we'd get around here, but we ended up just plummeting. This entry right here at STT, I should copy one of these over and put it there, because I know people would buy it there as a higher low fading back in, but it has STT straight all the way through it. It's just bear, and then one bull, and then it gets trapped. So there's really not good context there either. I mean, it's not a good reversal pattern on a big picture or even small picture even. It's just a rush above and then an entry that is kind of holding on the lows here. That's extremely bearish move into it, so I don't see anything good. But then we do break out again. We make a reset for that. We have a couple attempts to fade here. We have a first attempt. We get congestive. It kind of has a couple attempts lower here, but it's really forming a range sideways. Then we have a second attempt higher here. I have that marked as a trap. I mean, it's so bullish, rushing straight rushing just straight through the EMA. I mean, not that that's necessarily bothering me. It's chopping through the EMA, but it's just so bullish in general to enter short, and it didn't reach the measured move, and it didn't reach the overnight low. It's not off any resistance, which even if it just reached the measured move, that would have been better. But it's too bullish, you know, rushing above like that, and then it does have a reset. You could get like a second entry kind of thing, and then when you get a lower high, it's holding because it's just not very good context. But anyway, so we push higher here. We get to this trend line, and then this is a better looking short here because it's a little more big picture, or it's a lot more big picture. You have room to this channel here, which this channel started forming, which that could be uptrend, but it had an overshoot at a major downtrend. So that's the thing. Remember, when you have a downtrend, these are magnets. Price is trying to reach it. That's another thing. Big push higher like that, it could make a second one to try to reach it, which it does. Makes those two legs. And then we reach the downtrend highs here, and it's off these uptrend highs, and it overshoots, which means we can't expect a break. But that really just makes me feel more comfortable with going short in the uptrend, but still wanting to get out before in case it doesn't break. And then it did not break, but I did not get filled because I had to use a limit order in order to play this trade safely. So unfortunate. And then as soon as like this went by, it just went crazy. This literally just happened within a few minutes. This is just craziness. You can't trade it. It's untradeable. You know, clearly this channel, I mean, it went down there, retested up, tried to reach it down again. We bounced off the overnight high here. We bounced off the overnight low. This is just happening very fast. But yeah, so I guess that's the video for the day. Whoa, a tree just fell over. Right, I'm looking out the window. A tree just fell over because all the trees are covered in ice right now. It looks so cool because I'm like looking straight out, like right past my monitor. I'm looking out the window at this tree. And it's just like all the branches are just completely covered in ice. It's like such a thick layer of ice. It's almost as thick as the branch itself. But yeah, no, trees in my yard today fell over. Gonna have to deal with that. So that's gonna be rough, but I don't really want to deal with that. But yeah, like, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, anyway, so it's almost snowing right now. It's like basically snowing, but like borderline, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm kind of going on about that. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Hope y'all had a good trading day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.